everyone's having a good start to your Monday. This is Sunday afternoon, sitting out here in the barn for a minute before I work on a few projects, but I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about another camper trip we took. My son and I, we took out last weekend, took our tent, and actually went camping on the Mississippi River here in southeast Arkansas, and just had a great time. This was a 2-night trip for us. Went down on Friday after work, Friday night, and then stayed all day Saturday night, and come home early Sunday morning so we get back here, get cleaned up, and get to church with the family. But we had a great time there on the Mississippi River. Again, doing some state wildlife management area camping. There were a few campers there on the WMA where we were staying. There wasn't many, just a few. Most of them were there deer hunting for bow season. So there were a few hunters around, but not too many. We set up in one area. I didn't get the campsite that I wanted, but we did set the tent up in an area really designed for RVs. But we set the tent up and did really good there, and it was really just a beautiful spot. I'll be sure to drop some pictures in here while I talk. But you know, I talked my last camping video about trying to camp here in southeast Arkansas this fall, and that's my goal. And I'm already looking forward to our next trip, and I'll be talking more about that soon. But you know, a lot of times when you see folks camping here on YouTube and other maybe on Instagram or Facebook, something like that, they're always going up to the mountains. Now, I love the mountains. I love getting up to the mountains, but it's hard to get to the mountains. You know, for us, we're a couple hours away from just even starting to get into the mountains, and the real good stuff is even several hours beyond that. So it's just it's a long way away for us, you know. And so that's why I look for places that we can go right here in our backyard, so to speak. And 45 minutes, maybe an hour max, is sort of my goal right now of looking for places for us to camp. And there's plenty of them out there. Now, it's not that beautiful mountain scene that you see all over Instagram, but there's beauty here in southeast Arkansas, and it's really unique, you know, camping amongst the cypress trees and the river bank and muddy water. It's different looking, you know. And so we really had a great time there on our camping trip on the Mississippi River. So we, like I said, we set up Friday night. I just picked up some gas station food on the way down there, and we ate that and didn't really cook Friday night. But we did sit on the bank of the river, and it was the harvest moon, so we watched the full moon rise. And I took a few pictures, nothing really outstanding with that, but I took a few pictures while I was there on the river bank and had my camera set up and just watched the moon rise. And my son played in the sand there on the river, and we just had a good time doing that. And went back to the camp and went to bed early, and got up daylight the next morning and cooked breakfast. Well, I tried to cook breakfast. So if you'll recall, in my previous camping video, I had the old Coleman camp stove gotten from my dad. Got it out early Saturday morning, got ready to start cooking on it, and I could not get the thing to pump up with pressure. I tried and cleaned it and tried again, and it never would work. So finally, about 7:30, we drove into the nearest town with a Walmart and bought a new camp stove. So I'll be talking more about that later. But we did buy a new camp stove, and this is one that hooks up to the bottles. There's no pumping or priming, and I really like it. It's really thin too compared to that other one. So it worked great. But anyway, we got back. And again, I cooked us some sausage and some toast, and had just a really good breakfast with that. And then we just sort of messed around there at the campsite a little bit, you know. Just Nicholas, he loves to catch bugs and chase bugs. I don't know how many grasshoppers he caught, and a frog or two, you know, and played on the sandbar, and just sort of drove around, looked around a little bit, and then we right before lunchtime, we hooked up to the boat. I did take my boat and hooked up to the boat and took it over to a lake that was nearby there. And we fished for a little while. It didn't do any good. We didn't have any luck finding any fish. But we did try it, and it was good to run the boat. It hadn't been running several months, so I've run my boat a little bit. And we had a good time out there on the water. Fished for about an hour, and my son, he said, I'm ready to go. And it was my rule for the weekend. When he said he was ready to do something different, we was going to do it because I want him to have fun. So that's what we did. And so we packed up the boat, went back to the camp, and I fixed us some turkey and salami for sandwiches, and got that out. I heated him up a little bit of that salami, and he ate that, and I ate a turkey and salami sandwich myself. And then we played on the river some more, and then we went out, and this is, like I said, this is a wildlife management area, so we went and just sat in a wildlife food plot for just a little bit with my camera, and tried to see what we could see, you know. And I think all we really saw was an armadillo, but we got some pictures of the armadillo, and then come back to the camp, and again played on the riverbank for a little bit more, and then I cooked some hamburgers on the cast iron, and boy, that was so good. It was really good. And so we ate the hamburgers, and then I did cook a little bit of popcorn. You've seen me cook my popcorn before. I cooked just a little bit of popcorn to snack on after supper. We ate that, and then just chilled out around the fire, and went to bed. And again, early the next morning, I got back up and loaded everything up, and was back home in time to get a shower and get on to church. So that's one of the pluses for me in going to these places that are so close, is that I can pack it up, be home in time for church or whatever I might need to go do, and it's not a long drive after you've been tired on a camping trip like that too. So anyway, we had a great time camping, and I really encourage you guys that maybe enjoy the outdoors to look into camping. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, we're already planning our next one. I'm loving my tent. Every time I set it up, I'm getting a little bit quicker on it, a little bit quicker tearing it down. Of course, it was a little bit damp Sunday when I tore it down, so I had to bring it out here and stretch it out here in my barn for a little bit to dry. And my rug is still over here. It got wet again with Hurricane Delta, or whatever this last one was that come through here this weekend. So anyway, I'm gonna close this video out. I'm gonna do another video on my camp kitchen setup here pretty soon, and I'll be sure to show you all that. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Leave me a comment below if you've been camping, or if you like to go camping, and where you like to go, and I hope to catch you all on the next video. Goodbye.